Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually my second segment in 2020, and I'm wearing my Trump 2020 shirt. And if anyone from here on out, well, you don't debate anyone with derangement issues. Ever. I don't care if it's friends, family, co-workers. From here on out, I'm going to give you advice. Before we get to Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins becomes second GOP senator to question McConnell over impeachment trial.
Oh, well, looky here. I think we have a couple Benedict Arnolds. It was bad enough dealing with Pelosi. Now I gotta deal with Murkowski and Susan Collins. Backstabbers. They're smiling in your face. All the time they want to take your place. They don't even be home. She don't even be home, but they still keep on calling. Susan Collins.
Susan Collins becomes second GOP senator to question McConnell over impeachment trial with only a 4-vote Senate majority. A small block of Republican senators could upend Majority Leader's efforts. So it's not just Susan Collins, it's Lisa Murkowski, and they got Mitt Romney, and there's a couple other people that are, teetering. Look, before we get to that, do you have any Lisa Murkowskis or Susan Collins or Mitt Romneys in your life? They're conservative Republicans, and we're the good Republicans. We like John Kasich, and we think Bush is a good person, and Cheney and Rumsfeld are good people. We are just the good Republicans that the Washington Post respects, and the liberals respect. First of all, Democrats don't respect any Republicans, even the ones that claim to be against Trump. The same people who say, oh my God, look what Trump is doing to me. Look what he said about McCain. Those were the people who were the most disrespectful, the nastiest people towards McCain. You could look at the articles and blog posts and things that were said about McCain by Democrats, by liberals in 2008, questioning and condemning and insulting and mocking and denigrating things regarding his service. That's all from the left. You can go ahead and look it up. Questioning his health status. I mean, I've already looked at the articles that were written. They were horrendous and atrocious. But that was when it was politically expedient to go after McCain. If Trump does it, it's politically expedient to say, how dare he go after a man who served, and God bless all the veterans and all the active duty soldiers in the United States of America. God bless you and God bless your families. And thank you for your sacrifice. And I'm wondering, regarding all of this, how does Hillary Clinton, who will be the 2020 nominee, how does she have the audacity? And how do Democrats have the duplicity? And they have such a disingenuous nature to accuse Tulsi Gabbard, who is a major, I believe, in the National Guard, a veteran, of being a Russian operative. And then Democrats are silent, but then they're not so silent when it's McCain. And then, they're not silent when it's the Vindman, the colonel who went against Trump. But then they're very, very happy that Lieutenant General Michael Flynn was set up and framed. They don't care. They don't have any value system when it comes to the military or people who sacrifice, who risk their lives. And then they say, well, you know what? They're the ones who preside over interventions. They're the ones who have a Max Boot and Bill Kristol foreign policy that says, well, interventions are very good. Anyway, Trump is bringing home Americans. He's also presiding over record low Black and Latino unemployment, record low national unemployment, and the poverty rate in the United States of America has decreased from 12.7% to 11.3%, according to USA Today. But here, Wall Street Journal, Susan Collins becomes the second GOP senator to question McConnell over impeachment trial. Definitely don't debate anyone who has derangement issues regarding Trump. I'll get to that in a moment here. With only a 4-vote Senate majority, this is the Wall Street Journal. Republican senators could upend Mitch McConnell's efforts. Washington. This is just a couple hours back. Maine Senator Susan Collins has become the second Republican to question Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's approach to the impeachment trial of President Trump, underscoring how a few GOP defections could upset Mr. McConnell's control of the highly charged proceedings. In an interview with Maine Public Radio, Ms. Collins said she was open to witnesses, while the Republican leader from Kentucky wants a quick trial without witnesses. That's also somewhat skewed because, McConnell's like,
you want witnesses? Oh, okay. I'll see your John Bolton, and I'll raise you a Hunter Biden, and I'll raise you a Joe Biden. I'll raise you an intelligence operative, and I'll raise you a shifty sheriff. Oh, okay, no problem. Let's do this. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. You want to roll, Nancy? You want to get in the octagon? You want to get Khabib'd? We'll do this. You want witnesses, we get our own witnesses. How's that?
McConnell is actually okay with witnesses if he gets his own witnesses, too. The whole thing is about Biden. It's not about Trump. When they say, when Biden says, it's not about me, why do I even have to testify? Yes, it is about you. Yes, it is about you. Want to know why? Because your son got $83,000 a month, according to the National Review, Fox News, and The Hill. $83,000 a month. Hunter Biden gets $83,000 per month for Ukraine's ceremonial gig. A total of $3.4 million for consulting. Consulting's great, okay? But you get $83,000 a month to be on the board of directors of an energy company in Ukraine. You don't even speak Ukrainian or Russian. I don't think that what background does he have in energy? He's there because his name is Biden. Now, if that was okay, I'm not against nepotism. I'm not. What I'm against is $3.4 million from Burisma going into Biden's son's accounts, and then the vice president stating, you're not going to get $1 billion in loan guarantees unless you fire a prosecutor that just happens to be looking into the corporation and investigating the corporation, funneling millions into his son's account. Okay, the key here is that Biden in the Council on Foreign Relations states he's boasting and bragging, and he says, oh yeah, I was going to go ahead and I had 6 hours to leave, and they say, you have no authority, you can't withhold the $1 billion. And Biden actually says, go ahead and call the president. He goes, I'm going to go ahead, I'm leaving, and if you don't fire that prosecutor Shokin, you're not getting the $1 billion. When you have to, I'm on a different computer, my other computer with my other setup. I'll play because I have better speakers there. I'll play that segment. I've done this before many times. Biden admits to, and this is a really, really important key element of all of this, and it's something that Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and Mitt Romney in this Wall Street Journal article ignore, and it's something that Democrats don't want to admit. And honestly, the president should tweet that out or make some kind of mixtape of Biden, where Biden says, they said, you have no authority. You're not the president. You can't do this. They pushed back. They did not want. This is the entire impeachment trial in Clinton 2020 and the end of Biden's campaign all rolled into one. When they say to Biden, you don't have the authority, you can't do this, you're not the president, when he is admitting that, and he's explaining that they had stated that to him when he was trying to threaten them and actually engage in a quid pro quo, the admission is twofold. He's admitting to leverage and a quid pro quo, but he's also admitting to the fact that the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian officials were not aware that this was U.S. foreign policy. U.S. foreign policy isn't crafted on a spur-of-the-moment whim or ultimatum by Biden or anyone else, unless it's the president. If the president so if it was President Obama, yeah, he could do that. Not Biden. Biden's the vice president. He needs some kind of proof, evidence. So when The Intercept or when publications and Mother Jones or whatever, and they say that, well, this was U.S. foreign policy. He was doing this on behalf of U.S. foreign policy. Where's the documentation? Where are people backing up under oath Joe Biden's quid pro quo? Because it was a quid pro quo. It was, you will not get $1 billion in loan guarantees until you fire this prosecutor. Where? When was that decided? By the President of the United States of America, President Obama. Biden was not president. He never will be, because he ain't going to be nominee for the Democratic Party. Clinton will. But this article, the Wall Street Journal article, says there's now 3 senators, GOP senators, who were like, look at me. They're like, it's like the horror movie Carrie. They're at the prom, and then the red paint comes, and then the superpowers come in afterwards, and everyone gets barbecued and, skewered with on poles and stuff, whatever. That's, that was a great movie. And there's like an inferno. They're running out, and Carrie's just walking happy, with all the red paint. Yeah, you shouldn't have laughed. Except they don't have superpowers, so they're going to get the red paint. They're going to get the condemnation, the insults, and they're not going to be able to. They think that they're, being, giving the olive branch to Democrats, and that they're the popular kids with Democrats, and they're kind of looking and they're saying, I don't know what to do. I see you. I understand. I don't even like Trump either. Honestly, I'm a good Republican, I like John Kasich. Okay? I'm a good Republican. You can like us. No. They're being used. They happen to be in states that with, a lot of liberal voters, so they want to pander to the voters. Fine. Mitt Romney has his thing where he's wants to run again. I've talked about that a number of times on this channel. He wants to run again. He got well over 60 million. Got over 60 million votes, and he's like, hey, 60 million people wanted me as president, so I can, eventually, if I just play my cards right and pretend that I'm the moral, virtuous Republican, the kind of person that people want back in the White House. A really swell, moral, good person. Like President Obama, who drank Flint water in a shameful publicity stunt. I'm kind of thirsty. Can I have some water? Yeah, how great am I? Yeah. It was still poisonous. If Trump did that, oh my God, the supremacy, the enabling, the tiki torch, oh my God, they would never stop. Democrats would never stop. Democrats would never, ever stop. The liberals would never stop. Could you believe Trump drank poisonous water? He was trying to deceive people. With President Obama, Vox is he was a good-natured attempt. The Hollywood actors it was disappointing that President Obama drank Flint water. Yeah, well, you know what? It's more than that. How about when he destroyed a country where human beings are being bought and sold even to this day, where large swaths of the country are controlled by people in an organization I can't even name on YouTube. Failed NATO intervention, drinks Flint water. What else? Standing Rock does nothing. This is a whole bunch of other things. Oh, he didn't know that his own Secretary of State had private servers. It wasn't emails. When people are like, these emails. David Brock, I was listening to an interview of him, the Correct the Record Clinton loyalist, who now is praising Bernie Sanders, and then and the Bernie voters are like, see, we can still win. It's no, you had a chance in 2016 when I was saying that he could win. Not now. But, people like David Brock, and they're like, I can't believe this is about emails, emails. No, it's not about emails. It's about servers. She was hiding her communication from the U.S. government, the United States intelligence community, everybody. She was hiding her communication. And then the same establishment she was hiding from is like, oh, that's no problem. Let's cover. And then she had top secret and special access program intelligence. But anyway, the whole point is this. Don't, I guess I'll just, try to finish up what I was initially saying. Don't debate anyone. If you have friends, family members, coworkers, people on the street, your waiter, it doesn't matter. If you're at the bus stop, if you're on the bus, it doesn't matter who. In the next year, trust me. And if you're in my 15-minute crowd, you do enjoy my work, my writing, or, I'm assuming this is the best thing you've ever heard all year, which is the year is like 10 hours? No, like 6-7 hours old as of the taping of this segment here. Don't debate anyone for the next year. Until November of 2020, when Trump wins again, don't debate anyone. I suggest you delete your social media accounts, Twitter and Facebook. Okay, if you have a YouTube, great. YouTube's fine. But any like message board type of social media account, Twitter, Facebook. I wouldn't even go on Reddit. I wouldn't even do any type of thing where, whatever, I guess for politics, no, but any type of social media platform where liberals are going to just spew venom and just contempt, and where they're going to try to despise anyone who votes for Trump. Don't engage, don't talk, don't debate, don't have any discourse, because they're not. You're talking about people who have now been reduced to the guy in Lord of the Rings who's like, precious, precious. They're all, like, millions of those, just they've become that creature. So, they become that creature. And, don't show them anything. Don't fall into their trap, which is, so can you believe Trump did this? Or just don't do it. There's nothing good. They will never, all they want is to win. And the longer, the more time that passes, the more they'll realize that they're not going to win, which will make them even more deranged. So you have to just don't give them the chance to spew their nonsense. That's all I'm saying. Don't give them the chance to try to bring you down. And that goes for any person who ordinarily you would love and respect and be happy with and find. I'm talking your wife, your husband, your friends, your family, cousins, doesn't matter. Don't bring up Trump. And I'm saying this as I'm a proud Trump supporter. He's reduced poverty from 12.7% to 11.3%, record low Black and Latino unemployment, record low national unemployment, 300,000 plus manufacturing jobs, 300,000 lost under 8 years of President Obama. He's on pace to shatter President Obama's job creation. We can go on forever, but here, this is the heart of the matter. Impeachment, Mueller trial, and the intelligence nonsense here. It's all in the description section of every single one of my segments. Associated Press, quote, yet the impeachment witness accounts left one prominent hole that offered a lifeline for Trump and his GOP allies. And none of the witnesses could personally attest that Trump none of the witnesses could personally attest that Trump directly conditioned the release of the $400 million in military aid on a Ukrainian announcement of investigations into former Vice President Joe Biden and the Democratic National Committee. Yeah, because there's no direct evidence. That's the Associated Press. None of the witnesses could personally attest. Yes, that's because they're all making it up. Or whatever, it's their viewpoint. Who cares about their viewpoint? And then 538, December 2nd, 2019, Democrats' case against Trump, on the other hand, doesn't have one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump to a quid pro quo. Do Democrats have enough evidence for impeachment? 538, December 2nd, 2019. Okay, they don't have that one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump because it didn't happen. He doesn't care about Biden. He knows it's going to be Clinton 2020. Then you have the intelligence community, and I quoted this from the ODNI report. Judgments are not. This is when they say, "Well, we're confident that Russia hacked the DNC." They're not even certain of that. Judgments are not intended to imply that we have proof that shows something to be a fact. Assessments are based on collected information, which is often incomplete or fragmentary. High-confidence judgments generally indicates that judgments are based on high-quality information from multiple sources. High confidence in a judgment does not imply that the assessment is a fact or certainty. Such judgments might be wrong. Welcome to American politics from 2016 to 2020. From the imbeciles who brought you the tragedies and the horrors of American history, from the Gulf of Tonkin, the Bay of Pigs before that, the Bay of Pigs, Gulf of Tonkin, to Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld's just mistake, it was intelligence failure. Oh, that's too bad, I guess. I mean, you only ruined millions of people's lives or tried to harm or negatively impact millions of people's lives in the United States of America and millions of people's lives in other countries based on intelligence failures that were just horrendous failures. And we're supposed to revere these intelligence chiefs for what? Their ability to lie? They're even bad at lying. They're actually telling you that judgments are not intended to imply that we have proof that shows something to be a fact. Such judgments might be wrong. High confidence in a judgment does not imply that the assessment is a fact or a certainty. They're telling you, they're lying through their teeth. But here, the Mueller probe. This is CNN. This is in the Mueller probe. Second, while the investigation identified numerous links between individuals with ties to the Russian government and individuals associated with the Trump campaign, the evidence was not sufficient to support criminal charges. Among other things, the evidence was not sufficient to charge any campaign official as an unregistered agent of the Russian government or Russian principal. And our evidence about the June 9, 2016 meeting, and release hacked materials was not sufficient to charge a criminal campaign finance violation. Further, the evidence was not sufficient to charge that any member of the Trump campaign conspired with representatives of the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 election. Not sufficient, not sufficient, not sufficient. Judgments are not intended to imply that we show proof. Oh, Democrats don't have a key piece of evidence. They got nothing. Nothing. They're the cool kids in class. This is a high school. This is a dysfunctional high school with the cool kids. Let's say you're not part of the cool crowd, okay? But you see the cool kids trying to go after one of their own that perhaps they kicked out of the cool crowd, and he just upended everything. And he became class president, and and he's, they're trying to kick him out of school. And if you're just one of the, normal kids, average kids looking, who are you rooting for? The cool crowd that just, looks down upon everyone? Or the guy that they're trying to, ruin, but that they can't touch, and he's ruining them? Who are you rooting for? That's why when people are like, how come you like Trump? You like a Trump? That's immoral. Well, number one, you have no authority to cast moral judgment on anyone. You're just a regular person who voted for Clinton. We can go on forever with that, and they'll vote for Clinton again. If you're voting for Clinton over Trump, it's like you went to a restaurant. It's like you're complaining about service at a Michelin star restaurant, like the food. But you just came back from eating at Jeffrey Dahmer's house. And, you're like, I don't really like the food here. It's like, well, where were you eating prior to this? Huh? You're voting Clinton. You have no authority, zero authority to cast judgment upon anyone. You have to be the biggest imbecile on the planet to cast judgment upon somebody who vote for Clinton. You're going to vote for Clinton again, too, as Clinton 2020. This whole thing's a sham and a farce. You think they're worried about Biden? Biden is there it's actually this is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Devin Nunes talked about this. He's like, concerns about Biden came from Clinton's campaign and President Obama's campaign also, or President Obama's administration. Impeachment weakens Biden's campaign. They try to weaken Trump, but actually he grows stronger. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Helps Clinton. Because impeachment, they impeach Trump, which is just like her husband, the deviant in many ways. And she's like, I'm selling books. And, there's a state timeline that says I have to file. Oh, my goodness. That's weird. How will I ever run? There's a date where I have to register by. That's funny. How did I get away with private servers transferring top secret intelligence onto them and ripping apart every guideline and rule and law pertaining to the transfer of top secret intelligence? How did I do that? How did I cheat Bernie Sanders and have a secret agreement with the DNC? But we can't. I missed the filing date. How will I ever run? I guess I'll knock on doors for Biden, because that's totally what I would do. Not. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. All of this is Clinton. Okay, the culmination. I'm the only person on YouTube, the only person since 2017 that has stated every single day obsessively, Clinton is going to run again. The same people who, whatever, Medicare for all, yeah. You're going to vote for Clinton again. Impeachment, the Mueller probe, the intelligence chiefs, corrupt people like James Comey, they're all voting for Clinton again. Clinton is the head of a political machine. Okay, that's it. Not rocket science. Give me your thoughts below. It'll be Clinton 2020. She will lose again to Trump. She'll run again in 2024. Give me your thoughts. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Mitt Romney. There might be a couple others. They're trying to, perhaps side with Democrats. It ain't going to work. And I think that at the end of the day, Senate Republicans, even those three, probably know that it would hurt them tremendously long term. But anyway, give me your thoughts below. Check out A. Goodman's other channel right now. I have a great segment on Hunter Biden and how much money he made. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.